I've been the CEO of my own luxury car dealership chain for about 10 years now. Built it from the ground up, one sleepless night and one tough decision at a time. And I don't just mean I sit in a tall office chair and sign papers. I walked the lots in the rain, sold cars on Christmas Eve, and shaken hands with more customers than I could count. This company isn't just my livelihood. It's my name, my values, my reputation, and, if I'm being real, it's my legacy. So when I started hearing whispers that something wasn't right at one of my flagship locations, well, I couldn't just ignore it. See, people had been telling me there were problems, quiet ones at first, complaints slipping in through emails or customer service channels. A black customer being passed over while white clients got ushered straight in. Someone overhearing a joke that wasn't so much in poor taste as it was straight up racist. A feeling in the air, like you were being judged before you even stepped in the door. Nothing explosive, nothing that would blow up headlines, but enough smoke to tell me there was a fire somewhere. And the thing is, I didn't want to believe it. Not because I think we're perfect, but because I know how much I've tried to build something better. From day one, I wanted this business to stand for fairness, for class, for treating people like people no matter what zip code they come from or what they're wearing when they walk in the door. So I did what CEOs usually do: scheduled a meeting, asked for a report, had a few serious calls with management. And all I got was the same corporate fluff I've heard 100 times. We take these matters seriously. We're committed to inclusion. There's no evidence of systemic bias. That's when I knew I had to do something different. I decided to go undercover. Yeah, it sounds dramatic, but I needed to see it for myself. I needed to feel what it was like to walk through those showroom doors as just a customer. No entourage, no suit, just me, in a hoodie and jeans, on a Saturday afternoon. If there was truth to these stories, I'd see it in the way they looked at me, or didn't, in the tone they used, in the subtle ways people tell you you don't belong without ever saying the words. And let me tell you what I found. It hit harder than I was ready for. I pulled up around noon, busy time. Cars everywhere. Families walking the lot. Salespeople in blazers sipping coffee and looking like they'd rather be anywhere else. I walked in and waited. Nothing. No greeting. No, "Hey there, can I help you?" Not even eye contact. Just a few side glances, a couple employees chatting with each other like I was in VY Cybele. I stood by the door for a good minute or two, long enough that it started to feel awkward. Long enough that I felt like I was intruding in a space I helped build. Then I saw her, Cynthia. She was at the front desk, maybe mid-30s, sharp hair, long nails, and zero interest in her job. She was filing her nails when I walked up. Not pretending to be busy. Not multitasking. Just sitting there filing her nails like she was on a smoke break. I gave her the benefit of the doubt. Cleared my throat. Smiled. Said, "Excuse my mind if I ask about a few models?" She didn't look up. Not right away, anyway. Just sighed loudly and glanced at me like I was asking for change, not a do lost 60,000 vehicle. Her voice was flat when she finally spoke. "What are you looking for?" I said I was interested in maybe a BMW or a Mercedes. Told her I was just starting to look and wanted to know what was available. That's it. Nothing pushy, nothing complicated. And then she hit me with it. "Well," she said, dragging out the word like it offended her, "maybe check out something a little more in your price range first. We've got some used Hondas, if that's more your speed." I just stood there, trying to process that. Now, I've dealt with bias before. I've had security follow me in stores. I've been asked if I was with the delivery team at events where I was the keynote speaker. But this was different. This was my place, my brand. And I was being told, in no uncertain terms, that I didn't belong in the luxury section of my own dealership. It got worse. While pretending to check the inventory, she muttered something under her breath, quiet, but not quiet enough. "Another black guy in a hoodie," she said, shaking her head, still filing her nails. My chest tightened. I'm not the kind of guy to get loud. I've made it this far by staying calm, by calculating. But that moment, that hit deeper than I thought it would. Not just because of what she said, but because I knew. If I hadn't come in undercover, she'd have gone on doing that to every other customer who looked like me. For weeks, maybe months. I was about 2 seconds away from blowing the whole thing wide open, but I stopped myself. Not because I was afraid, but because I needed to understand how deep this rot went. Was this just Cynthia being bitter and lazy? Or was this the culture now? So I stayed, asked more questions, let her talk. And every answer, every sideways glance, every fake smile told me exactly what I didn't want to hear. She saw me as a nuisance. Not a customer. Not someone who deserved respect. Just some guy wasting her time. The microaggressions kept stacking up like bricks, condescending tones, little smirks, thinly veiled insults. At some point, I looked around the showroom and realized everyone else was being treated better. A white couple across the room got offered coffee and walked straight into a glass office with a smiling rep. A younger white guy in gym clothes was being shown the latest Audi like he was royalty. But me? I couldn't even get a brochure without feeling like I was imposing. That's when I knew I had enough. I took a breath, pulled out my phone, and opened a photo in a tailored suit, sitting behind the executive desk of the company. Clean, confident, exactly who I am. I walked up to her desk again and held the phone where she could see. "Recognize this guy?" I asked. She looked, then froze. Her face lost all color. Her eyes darted from the screen to my face, back and forth like she was trying to wake up from a nightmare. "Wait, I'm James Caldwell, CEO, owner, the guy whose name is on every employee contract in this building." Silence. She stammered something. I didn't know, "I'm so sorry." But I stopped her, calmly, firmly. "It's not about what you meant. It's about what you did. You judged me the second I walked in. You disrespected me. And more importantly, have you been doing this to other customers? People who deserve better. People who trusted us to treat them right." She couldn't speak. I left her standing there, nails half filed, dignity half shattered, and walked out. The next morning, I held a meeting. Every employee. No excuses. No warning. I stood up front and told them everything. What I saw, what I heard, and how damn disappointed I was. I didn't shout. I didn't throw things. I just told the truth. "Yesterday," I said, "I went undercover at this dealership. I walked through those doors like any customer might. And I was met with judgment, disrespect, and racism. I wasn't treated like a human being, let alone a potential buyer. I was treated like I didn't belong. And that ends today." I told them Cynthia was no longer with the company, effective immediately. No drama. No debate. Then I made a promise. From that day forward, we would invest in real change. Mandatory training. Anonymous reporting tools. Leadership accountability. Because this company was going to be better. Not just on paper, not just in mission statements, but in practice. In how we treat people. All people. I'm not naive. I know bias won't disappear overnight. But I also know this change starts with the people at the top doing the uncomfortable work. Looking in the mirror, calling out the rot, and refusing to let it grow in the dark. I left that meeting feeling heavy, but also proud. Because I didn't just expose a problem, I acted. And now, maybe, someone else who looks like me won't have to stand at that desk and wonder if they belong. They'll know they do. So let me ask you this. If you were in my shoes, what would you have done? Have you ever been treated like you didn't belong just because of how you look, dress, or speak? Should leaders take more risks like this? Go undercover. See the truth for themselves? I want to hear your stories. Drop them in the comments. Let's talk about it. Because if we want real change, it starts with conversations like this. And people like you.